The hardest tournament of my life so far was this beginner division at a local judo tournament, and it sounds crazy to say, but let me explain. See, this morning I didn't even want to do this judo tournament. I'd been dealing with some stress, some personal issues, completely unrelated to judo, but I decided to show up anyway, and this would be my second judo tournament. See, I've done like literally over 70 competitions in jiu-jitsu, and I've rarely not wanted to show up, but today was different. I was just off. But I need to fight through two novice divisions today. The first one's in the morning, it's the adults, and then later it's the veterans for people 30 and up. It is double elimination, so like at least I'll get 2 matches, and I'll get the learning I came for, I guess. So here I am at a local judo tournament that nobody will remember me for, and I'm about to start my first match. I have to try to get my offense going, but we're not allowed to do submissions in this division. So it opens him up for more dropping throws, and on one of them, my eye slams straight into the back of his head. And immediately in my head, I'm just like, F this, I didn't even want to be here, I just want to go home. But I know that I have at least 3 more matches left across both my divisions today. And I also remembered Travis Stevens with like that wrap around his eye in the Olympics, and he got silver, so I can keep going, right? So these moments are the tipping point. When things get hard, that's when we want to quit the most. And the funny thing is, nobody's actually making me stay here. I'm here willingly on my own. How stupid is this? Nobody cares about this. What am I trying to prove? Maybe it's all out of pride and ego that I'm staying. I don't know. Or maybe because something inside of me is telling me to fight, knowing that when I come out on the other side, I'll be slightly better for it, no matter what the outcome is. Admittedly, this all exists in my mind right now, but the feeling is totally real at this local tournament that nobody will remember. And look at all these kids too, they're doing it, and some of them are even having fun. So suck it up, you pussy. So that'll do it for my first division. I managed to lose both matches spectacularly, but I still have to come back in a few hours for the veterans division. It's not even really about the tournament. It kind of took a lot for me to even want to like show up this morning and stuff. You can't build strength and all that without it actually being difficult. So in a way, I guess I need to thank the universe for probably one of the worst days I've had in a while. All right, we're back for round 2. I've learned over the past 2 years of competing that courage doesn't mean you're not scared. In fact, it's the opposite. Being scared is a prerequisite for courage. Without fear, there's no need for courage. You must endure the thing you don't want to endure to attain the virtue you want. The good requires the difficult. The difficult is the good. Through trials and tribulations, no matter how small, you learn something powerful. You can do way more than you thought. And oftentimes, the only thing standing in your way is your own mind. You are your own limiting factor. So if I'm scared, then good. It means I'll come out a little more courageous on the other side. And through courage, I might even put a little win in the books. Or not, but I'm never back to where I started. I've still gained something. So how can we say then that anything turned out bad? These are the requirements for accomplishing anything. But the funny thing is, even when you achieve something, it's the courage that feels the best. I guess it's our nature. In the end, to have any shot at accomplishing anything, you have to risk not accomplishing it. We ask ourselves, what if it goes wrong? But we forget to ask, what if it goes right? If courage is the only barrier, then why not be courageous? So I ended up winning the novice veteran division. Congrats, I still suck. And this is not meant to be a sob story about hurting my eye and winning a local tournament, but instead just a reminder to myself that there's some good on the other side of every hard thing, no matter the context. Now, there's people who will laugh at this idea of taking these things too seriously, and they're kind of right.
Let's fucking go.
Redemption story,
there
dude.
You
Look
go.
at this eye.
People are what make things what they are. We're the ones who put gravity into this, who make this important. And it doesn't have to be. Yet somehow it still changes us. Both these things are held simultaneously. They both exist.
Because when you do hard things, you can see what they do to a person. They change you. It doesn't matter the context. The circumstances may change, but similar lessons exist underneath the surface. And seeing the reality of this is what opens your mind. It lets you see through the matrix.
And in first place, we have Joshua Beam from...
It all matters, and yet somehow none of it matters. And that's kind of freeing. If both of these ideas exist at the same time, then better yet, it means it's all about our perception. And that's something that we have a little more control over. So I did a hard thing today, and I'm grateful for every hard thing because every hard thing makes me slightly better as a person and able to deal with everyday life and be nicer to people and see what really matters. See, today I saved up a little more karma points. I leveled up on the character meter, and I'm proud of myself for this. But I'm not the only one who did a hard thing today, so did all these other people. They did the exact same thing, and that inspires me. And I wish I knew about this earlier in my life, but everything is as it should be. So anyway, respect to everybody out there who competed.
That was probably one of the hardest tournaments I've ever done. I've done a lot of tournaments, you know what I mean? Well, BJJ ones. I've been around the world. Competed in Asia, I've competed all over Europe. I've competed in like pretty much every major tournament. I've been in Brazil, and this local judo tournament kicked my ass. I did get the gold medal. As I learn every single time I compete, it's never really about the medal. I don't know, people pass all kinds of judgments on people who compete. The minute you step in there and compete yourself is when you start suspending judgment of other people. It's like that man in the arena quote, which I actually have hanging up on my wall right here. It's not the critic who counts, so take that for whatever it's worth. Well, now it's time to go train.